The year is 2022, and Tom Brady has just claimed his 6th, 7th, 8th championship ring after winning Super Bowl LVI in Las Vegas. At this point he's locked up his GOAT status and secured every meaningful passing record in league history. But when he steps under center to begin the 2022 NFL season, Brady will break one more record, becoming the oldest quarterback to ever start a game. Make room for the new old guy, Steve DeBerg. I think he would have to start a football game 6 seasons from now to break my record, said DeBerg, 63, having already done the math well before we spoke on the phone. And I actually think he'll do it. At the NFL owners' meetings in Phoenix, more than a month after the Patriots and Brady won their 5th Super Bowl, team owner Robert Kraft revealed that Brady said he felt he could play in the NFL for 6 or 7 more years. When it comes to the NFL's oldest quarterbacks, many think of George Blanda, the late Hall of Fame quarterback who played 26 seasons until he was 48. But Blanda was also a kicker throughout his career, and he didn't start a game at quarterback after the age of 41. Warren Moon's last start came when he was 44 years and 8 days old. Vinny Testaverde started for the Panthers when he was 44 years and 26 days old. But it's DeBerg who holds the record. On October 25, 1998, DeBerg started for the Falcons against the Jets at 44 years and 279 days old. To be honest, it was a forgettable moment in NFL history. New York crushed the eventual NFC champs 28-3 as DeBerg, filling in for an injured Chris Chandler, went 9 for 20 for 117 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception and 3 sacks. The New York Times wrote that he looked every day of 44. When you start getting into your 40s you don't recover as fast with injuries and things like that, DeBerg said. You are a little bit, your footwork is just a little bit slower and your arm strength starts diminishing a little bit. You make up for it with knowledge and decision-making. But DeBerg's career is much more than being the oldest player to ever start under center in an NFL game. After being drafted by the Cowboys, DeBerg was traded to the 49ers, where he played with O.J. Simpson, late in his NFL career, as his tailback. He made stops in Denver, Tampa Bay, Kansas City and Miami before retiring and unretiring, returning for the 1998 season with Atlanta to back up Chris Chandler, and get that history-making start. You just never know. A guy could fall onto Brady's knee. There are so many things that can happen, DeBerg said. It is a violent game. The injury part of it is a big factor. Sometimes you've just got to be lucky. DeBerg wasn't always lucky in his NFL career, several times losing out to quarterbacks who would go on to greatness. DeBerg was with the 49ers when they drafted Joe Montana, with Denver when they drafted John Elway and down in Tampa Bay when they got Steve Young and Vinny Testaverde, and every one of those transactions sent him packing. DeBerg enjoyed his greatest success in Kansas City with Marty Schottenheimer, going 10-5 and 11-5 in 1990 and 91, respectively, and making the playoffs both seasons. He went back to Tampa in 1992 and split the following season with the Bucs and Dolphins before calling it quits, getting his last start at 39 years and 328 days old. Some parts of my career I played for some pretty bad teams. Fortunately that was at the beginning of my career and I was able to take the physical punishment, DeBerg said. I was fortunate that later in my career I was able to play for better teams so the injury risk wasn't nearly as high as it was when I was getting hit a lot more often. Brady, for his part, has been relatively fortunate when it comes to injuries. Outside of tearing his ACL in the 2008 season opener he hasn't missed a start due to injury since usurping Drew Bledsoe in 2001. Brady's exhaustive training regimen and diet are as much a part of his legend as February's comeback. DeBerg considers himself lucky that his only injuries were a torn MCL in his second season, a shattered pinky in 1990 and a third-degree shoulder separation in '93. In 1998, at age 44, DeBerg was admittedly in bad shape, the kind of shape Brady couldn't, and wouldn't, be in 4 or 5 years from now. DeBerg, 5 years removed from playing, was teaching his son footwork drills as he prepared the teen to play quarterback in high school. It was during those drills that DeBerg realized he could still throw the ball pretty well. Why not try to get back in shape and make a second run at the NFL? DeBerg got in touch with Dan Reeves, then the coach of the Falcons. The two go way back. Reeves helped draft DeBerg in Dallas and later coached him in Denver. Then in 1995, when Reeves was the head coach of the Giants, he hired DeBerg as his quarterbacks coach. Once he saw that I could still throw the football pretty close to as well as I ever did, he knew I would be able to.